Hello, my name is Silvia and this is a 15-minute video of power yoga. This video will be aimed at strengthening muscles all over the body, mainly core, shoulders, quads, glutes. So power yoga is a dynamic vinyasa, so we will do obviously a 15-minute, which is a mini version of a full yoga class. And you will feel energized, stretched and strengthened at the end of it. So let's start by warming up, sitting cross-legged, finding a comfortable sitting on the floor. If sitting on the floor is uncomfortable, you can use a prop underneath or a pillow, opening the palms, closing the eyes and starting to focus on the breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Start to become present of this moment without worrying about the past or the future or any worries. Focusing on the breath means that our mind becomes clear of thoughts. Focusing on what muscles lift and expand to let air in the lungs, and focusing on which muscles contract to let air out. Twice more in your own time. When you've done your last exhalation, open the eyes gently. Start to take the hands towards the ceiling, palms to touch. Exhale, come to a twist. Twisting the spine just to warm up. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale to another twist. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale, take the fingertips behind your back. I will change position so you can see. Fingertips behind the back, push the chest up and forward, look up towards the sky. Exhale, come back to neutral spine, interlace the hands in front of your face, push the hands away, look down towards your belly, open the shoulder blades. And release. And then taking the right hand towards the ceiling, left hand on the floor, and we take a nice side stretch, opening up the part, all this rib cage area that we contract all the time. We don't really stretch properly if we sit at the desk all day. And then take the right hand on the floor, left arm over to the other side. Coming back to the center, we come to an all four position. Making sure that your shoulders are on top of your wrists and your hips are on top of your knees. We start to inhale, arch the back, tilt the pelvis upwards, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the back, tilt the pelvis down, look down towards the floor, towards your belly, Open the shoulder blades in your own time. One inhalation, one movement. One exhalation, the opposite movement. Twice more. And when you've done your last exhalation, tuck the toes under. We start to warm up, lifting the knees off the mat, just to warm up the glutes and the quads. Taking the knees down and tuck the toes. Take a child's pose. Bring your seat onto your heels. Forehead on the floor. And again, coming back to all four position, tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the mat. And then we start to lift the pelvis all the way up to the ceiling. Into your first downward facing dog. Shoulders away from the ears, lifting the kneecap, and maybe to start warming up the legs, start to pedal the feet to warm up the back of the thighs and the calves. And then find stillness and find strength in this downward facing dog position. Fingers are spread on the mat. Taking all of the weight of the shoulders onto the fingers, shoulders away from the ears. And then we start to lift the heels off the mat, round the back, come to a high plank. As you come to high plank, hold the plank here, and again make sure, first of all, your option is to be on your knees. Otherwise, if you're here, make sure always that your shoulders are on top of your wrists.
holding it here. Pelvis is tucked under, so tailbone is tucked under, abdominals are tucked in with the navel drawing in towards the spine, holding the plank, keep breathing. And then we come to a side plank, balancing on the left arm. We lift the right hand towards the ceiling in one straight line with the bottom arm. Option to be with one knee down. And we're lifting the heels slightly up into kind of a banana shape with our body so that we are not collapsing onto the shoulder joints. Coming back to the center, moving to the other side. Lifting the hips into making your body into a banana shape. Coming back, one last effort here. We will take the elbows super tight against the rib cage, slowly lowering down to low plank. Inhale, roll over your toes, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here for a moment, just one breath. And then we take the knees to the mat, big toes to touch. And let's rest a second. Maybe this is just for you to shake your wrists a little bit. And then come to child's pose for one breath. Coming to downward facing dog once again. More strengthening of the shoulders. We take the forearms on the floor into dolphin pose. In dolphin pose, maybe if your heels are down, normally in downward facing dog, into dolphin pose, maybe your heels will come up. That's absolutely fine. And from here, we will lift again to downward facing dog. And again, down to dolphin pose. Up, downward facing dog. And down, exhale, dolphin pose. Stay in dolphin pose here for a moment. And then coming up to downward facing dog once again. And walk the feet towards the top of the mat. Taking the big toes to touch. Take the hands on the hips, slowly coming all the way down. Maybe bending the knees slightly. Open the palms, exhale. Inhale, bend both knees. Move the arms parallel. Into a parallel line between them, over your head. We're either looking up towards the hands or down towards the floor into Utkatasana chair pose. Engaging the lower abdominals by drawing the navel in towards the spine, engaging the pelvic floor muscles. Inhale, slightly reaching up. Exhale, move your seat closer to the floor as if you're sitting on a low bench. Take the arms and the thighs parallel to the floor. So you see thighs and arms are parallel to the floor. Inhale, lift the heels off the mat. One last effort here. Exhale, take the hands on the floor. Extend the legs behind. If your flexibility level is different than mine, obviously you can take the hands onto your shins instead. And stretching the hamstrings. Here, it's absolutely fine to be here. Or if you need to bend the knees and you want to be a little bit lower, and with every exhalation you may be trying to extend the legs behind. Inhale, take the hands on the hips, slowly coming all the way up. Taking the feet to the top of the mat. And then we take one big step with the right foot towards the back. We take the foot into 45 degrees angle, so my foot is pointing towards the camera. Front knee is bent to 90 degrees. We move to warrior two, arms in one straight line, looking towards the left middle finger ahead of you. Feeling the energy from this pose, picking up the energy from the earth, from your feet, and shooting it out from your fingertips. Inhale, place the left elbow onto the left knee. Take the right arm over into one straight line with your leg. Engaging the left side of the body. So imagine you're holding a bowl of soup with your left hand. So we're not collapsing here. We are actively pushing away. Option to stay here or to extend the left arm as well. Imagine you're holding a beach ball over your head. And then take the elbow back on the knee, coming back, taking the left palm open to the ceiling. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Take the left hand towards the back of the room, right hand onto the right thigh. Inhale, straighten both legs. Let's twist towards the front, so I'm turning towards the camera. Toes out,
heels inwards, inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, take the hands down towards the floor, place them in between the lines of the arches of your feet. Imagine you want to place the head down on the floor. Maybe perhaps your head is going to reach the floor, or perhaps it's not. That's absolutely fine anyway. Breathe here one more time. Inhale, come halfway up, fingertips to the floor. Interlace the hands behind your back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold forward, take the head and hands over towards the floor again. Inhale, bending the knees, slowly coming all the way up. Releasing the hands. This time we will point the right foot towards that side of the room, left foot towards the camera. We do the warrior two on the other side, bending the front knee to 90 degrees angle, moving the arms parallel to the floor in one straight line, looking towards the right middle finger into warrior two. Keep breathing here, and then place the right elbow onto the right knee, left arm over one straight line with your left thigh and leg. Engaging the right hand side of the body, and then maybe extending the right arm over to hold your beach ball over your head, and then take the elbow back down, and then reverse the warrior. Take the right hand towards the back of the room and left hand onto your left leg. Inhale, coming back up. Let's face again the camera, and this time we will take the feet a little bit closer together, so slightly more open the hip width apart. Take the hands in prayer, and then squat down into Malasana, yogi squat. If that's too much, you can be up onto your toes, and take the hands in prayer in the middle of your heart, and open your knees. Nice hip opener pose. And then slowly coming all the way up. Take a step to the front of the room. And then we do one vinyasa. Inhale, hands to the ceiling, palms to touch. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat or to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step or jump to high plank. Slowly lowering down, elbows tight to the rib cage. Inhale, rolling over the top of your feet, coming to upward facing dog, shoulders away from the ears, thighs are off the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. And then from here we will lift the heels off the mat, round the back, come to plank position, and then when you come here, start to drop the hips, lift the chest. This time is upward facing dog, but with the toes tucked. Strengthening the shoulders and the back muscles. Inhale, lift to downward facing dog once again. Twice more. Inhale, lift the heels, round the back, come to high plank. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Look up, upward facing dog, tuck the toes. Inhale, lift all the way up to downward facing dog. And exhale, inhale, lift the heels, come to plank, drop the hips, lift the chest. And then exhale, come to downward facing dog. And then take the knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, and rest for a moment in child's pose. Shake the wrists here. And then we're coming to a sitting position like when we started. Just a little bit of a stretch, taking the heels, taking the soles of the feet as close as you can towards your pubic bone, soles of the feet together. Sitting nice and tall. Interlace your fingers and place them around your feet. And exhale, fold forward without rounding the back. So here we're not aiming at doing this with our back. So the aim is that your chest is shooting forward, so that you're always maintaining a nice straight back. And then coming back up, This time we will change position, placing the feet slightly further away so that you're creating a sort of diamond shape with your thighs. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, move the head towards your feet. This time you can round the back and you create a sort of egg position, opening the hips, and then slowly coming all the way up, and then coming again to our seated position, crossed leg. And let's take the hands onto the knees, open the palms, closing the eyes. As this is a mini power yoga session, we start with an attention to the breath, and we will finish with an attention to the breath again. We will take the hands in prayer this time. Inhale here, and exhale through the nose. Once again, inhale, exhale. One last time, inhale, exhale, and then we bow down. Namaste. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video of power yoga for 15 minutes. Thank you.